Last night I saw a video by a guy named Justin Phillip, somebody I follow on YouTube who is a very talented guy, apparently. He's like, as he would put it, a real filmmaker. And he was making the case last night that you can't be a YouTuber and a filmmaker. Like, you can't be both. And then he started to say you can't be both at the same time. And I just thought about that, and I was like, does that mean if I go out for a run, that while I'm running, I'm not a filmmaker or I'm not a performing artist? Like, I wasn't really sure what he was saying. And he specifically called out Cam Meike, Patrick Tomaso, and I understood what he was saying. And again, I have a lot of respect for this guy. I actually first started following him when I was thinking of getting the Sigma FP camera. And he was using it pretty extensively and talking about it a lot. And I learned a lot from him. And he also talked about the lenses that I use, which are these Minolta Rokkor lenses. So anyway, he had me thinking a lot about this YouTube versus filmmaker kind of thing. And it reminded me that I wanted to watch Danny Gevirtz's movie. It's called I Think I'm Sick. And I've been meaning to watch it for a long time, and I just haven't had a chance. And so this morning, Thanksgiving Day, I decided to get up, go to Gevirtz's website, buy it, purchase the right to see it, and I watched the movie. And, Danny Gevirtz is a YouTuber. And as a matter of fact, there was a video once where he was talking about having to kind of make the choice between being a, I guess, conventional filmmaker or a YouTuber. Like, he had to make a choice for some reason, and he chose YouTube. And but then he made a feature film, and actually it was executive produced by another YouTuber, Meike, which is pretty amazing. And this is a full-blown film. This is not like I just put out a feature film, but I shot the whole thing by myself. I did everything. I did the sound, I did the lights. I had no crew, I had nobody, I had no budget. I did everything. I was fortunate to have Steve Peckman provide me with the score, but Danny Gevirtz's film is scored 99% by Music Bed. So they're different projects, you know what I mean? Like, he had a DP, he had a crew, he had actors, he had a full-blown cast. He had locations all over the place, although I had locations all over the place too, and I had actors, me, and me, and me. I had a crew, me. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. It was different. I got to say that Danny Gevirtz will blow out of the water the notion that you can't be a YouTuber and a filmmaker, because I Think I'm Sick is pure, unadulterated brilliance. It's a beautiful film. It ripped my heart out of my chest. And anybody who knows me, who knows my film, will understand why this film resonated so much with me, because it was about suicide, and my film is about suicide. And there was a lot of stuff in there that really crushed my soul, But I got to say that it was tragic, but beautifully tragic, like that's what I think an artist does. We take difficult things, we take hard things to deal with, and we turn them into something magnificent, something gorgeous, And he did such a great job of that. The storyline was amazing. To be honest, at the beginning of the film, it was so stylized, I really kind of, for a few minutes, I thought, I'm not going to make it through this film. This is too weird. Like, the acting was weird, everything was weird. The music was weird, everything. But then I thought, this is Danny Gevirtz, he's a genius. Like, he's doing this on purpose. This is purposeful in the script. So hang in there. And I hung in there. And then it turns, and it turns without you even realizing it. Like, I can't point to a moment where it turned, but it just turned, and it just settles into reality. But at the beginning, he sets all the rules, he introduces us to all the characters. We know who they are, where they came from, what they want, what they need, where they're going, what they're like, what they don't like, He does incredible character study. incredible character development. There's a beautiful arc to the story. He sets it up so well, and then, like I said, it becomes normal, and suddenly I found myself completely immersed in the story. You know, I forgot that was Thanksgiving. I didn't know what time it was. I was there. He had me. Hook, line, and sinker, I was all the way in. And I cared so much about these characters. Like, you know, a story's no good if you don't care about the character. If you could care less what's going to happen to this person or these people, you have no story. There's no conflict. There's no problem. It's, you know, it doesn't matter if it looks beautiful. And, you know, it's Danny Gevirtz, so it looked beautiful, you know. The cinematography, his friend Giancarlo, I can't think of his last name right now, but I'm going to put a link in this video to the film so you can watch it, and you should watch it. But the cinematography, the filming, the technicality, the technical parts of the movie, the technical parts were beautiful, amazing. How many times have I used the word beautiful? That makes me a bad writer, but I didn't write a script for this, so I'm just talking off the top of my head. I mean, I thought to myself, this is why I watch film. This is why I go to the theater. This is why I receive art. This is why I go to a museum to look at paintings, to see dance pieces, to, you know, to experience any kind of art, poetry, music, to feel something. And I felt so much in this film. It reminded me that, you know, the most human part of us is our relationships, to be with other people, to exchange with other people. But that's also the most difficult, complicated part of us, because we have no control over how other people are going to act, how they're going to treat us, how they're going to, you know, fall into groups, and we may or may not feel a part of anybody or anything. You know, like we might be a loner, we might feel like an outcast, or we might just want to be accepted by everybody, or we might want to just be left alone. You're like, it's really complicated. But we have nothing if we don't have relationships. It also reminded me that it's a courageous act to get up every day and get involved with that life, to get out there with other people, to get involved with things, to do things, to try to accomplish stuff, to study, to learn, to have fun, to have joy, to be able to endure disappointment and tragedy. And, you know, tragedy. I mean, the resilience of people is so highlighted in this film. You know, sometimes these horrific things happen to people, and somehow they get over it and they keep living. And they become whatever they become. But everything that happens to us, you know, has a part of who we do become. And the other thing that this film reminded me of was the importance of forgiveness. You know, when I was a little kid, my grandmother even said to me, if you don't learn to forgive people, you will never have anybody in your life. Nobody. People are going to disappoint you, especially the people who you care about the most, the people who you love the most. They're going to crush your world. People are going to die. You're going to maybe lose your job. Like there's going to be so many disappointments in your life. You must learn to forgive. But this film is also about forgiving yourself. And I can relate to that as well. I mean, I don't want to tell you too much about this movie because I want you to watch it. So that's why I'm not like giving you a review or being really specific about it. I don't want to do that. I just want to tell you that it's a human story. The locations are beautiful and interesting. The characters are really, really cool. Like, you know, I'm a huge fan of The Wire from HBO. Now, trust me, Danny's movie has nothing to do with The Wire. It's not even in the same universe in terms of style and story. But the thing that it has in common, in my opinion, is that The Wire, to me, has the best character development and character study of anything I've ever seen in my life. The characters were so strong in The Wire, you could never look away. And you cared about everybody, and you cared about everything that was happening to everybody, and, you know, the outcome of everybody's life. No matter how despicable their actions might have been, you cared about everybody. You know, The Wire showed you the humanity of everyone. And that's what I felt here. I think that's what's most special about this film, that every single person in here, high school kids, teachers, security guard, parents, everybody is so human, so flawed, so perfect, so mean, so nice, so human, so everything. And everybody is vulnerable in this film. I just thought the writing was really, really good, you know. I thought that the location was very interesting. Everybody will be able to relate to it. I also know that one time Danny mentioned that one of his favorite films in the world was Manchester by the Sea. And there's a point in the film, a very, very important moment, like maybe one of the most important moments in the film, where he gives a huge tribute to Manchester by the Sea. And I thought, wow, he did that. He did that. And if you haven't seen that film, you won't know. But I just thought that was so cool. You know, like, figure out in your script how to make a tribute to something that's influenced you. That's like honoring somebody who taught you or inspired you. And I just thought that was fantastic. He even got his dog Sansa in, and anybody who watches Danny Gevirtz knows he loves his dog. You know, the cool thing about him is that he kind of lets you know him in his YouTube videos. Like, you know, not personally, but he's very intimate, you know, and that's, to me, that's a great artist. That's what I was taught. You know, like, the way to be a performing artist is to allow people to know who you are through your work. You have to figure out how to bring yourself to everything that you share with people. Whether it be your writing or your performance, you have to let people see your soul, even though you're not playing yourself. Whether you are playing yourself or not, you know, like if it's a YouTube video, if it's a play, if it's a film, if you're playing a different character, whatever. I know for myself, I feel like people know who I am. You know, me, rockwilk, along with whatever they're seeing. Because I'm bringing all of myself and I'm being intimate, I'm being vulnerable, because I'm enjoying the exchange with people. You know, there's energy flying back and forth, and I felt that throughout this film. I mean, I cared so much about these people. I haven't been able to stop thinking about this movie all day. My favorite movie is Cinema Paradiso. I love Roma. I love Coda. I love, like, Water for Chocolate. I love Rabbit Proof Fence. I mean, you might have never heard of any of these films. But, you know, the same thing with Manchester by the Sea. That's, like, way up there for me. I love that film so much. And this is one of those movies, you know. It's fantastic. I just think, you know, if you're caught up, you know, in all the YouTube stuff, I mean, sometimes if you're a filmmaker who works, if you do corporate work, if you do weddings, if you do commercials, even if you do films, sometimes we get jaded, you know. We forget the reason that we became artists. And the reason was to feel and to have people feel. Like that's it. That's the only thing that matters. And this film will remind you of that. You know, kudos to Matty Hapoya for putting himself out there to support this. Like, he obviously saw something in this work where he was like, yeah, I'm going to get behind it. And he threw down a significant chunk of money. One YouTuber is supporting another. So to Justin Phillip, that's as filmmaker as it gets. And this was, you know, a proper set. Full everything, you know. Lighting department, sound department, wardrobe, DP, you know, other shooters, lights, everything. You know, there's even a location 3/4 of the way across the country. I think this is shot mainly around like a suburb of Philadelphia, I believe. I think so. But I wanted to share this, and I wanted to encourage anybody who comes to my channel. Of course, I want you to watch my movies. I have 2 feature films, and you know, you can see both of them on Vimeo on demand if you want to pay for them and support me. But I've also put them here at YouTube for free because I want people to watch my work. I posted a film the other day. It's gotten, I think, 600 views in the first 24 hours. So that's pretty cool. I really think you should watch I Think I'm Sick by Danny Gevirtz. I think it is a perfect film. I really do. I think it'll, like it did to me, rip your heart out of your chest. It is a beautifully tragic love story. That's what it is. It's a love story. And it does take something that's, you know, kind of difficult for people to deal with. And it absolutely, this movie is what beautiful looks like. And I think that's the goal for everybody. I know that's my goal with everything that I do. And by the way, I know personally, I know a lot of people like shy away from my work because they think it's too emotional or too heavy or too deep, you know, because I tend to write stories like that because that's who I am. That's what I'm about. I hate when people shy away from, that's what art is for. Like, you want to walk around on the surface your whole life. You want to just ignore the difficult things that everybody goes through. Because then inevitably when you go through it or somebody you love goes through it, you have to deal with it anyway. Why not deal with it through art and then feel it and understand what it's about and see the beautiful parts of it? The parts that are not horrific. Even the most horrific things, there's some kind of beautiful in there. You just have to look for it. You have to be willing to do that. You have to be brave enough. But what you're going to understand from this film is that the main characters in this film are so brave. They get up every day and they push through. Their lives are like the steepest and most, you know, challenging mountain, and they just keep climbing every day. But it's also a very real story, very sobering and contemplative, and it will have you considering many, many things and probably raise your awareness, elevate your empathy, and really make you look around at the people you love and also people you don't know. And it'll make you understand, or it will remind you, because you already understand, but it'll remind you that you have no idea what people are going through and that everybody goes through something. And that's great art. Danny Gevirtz, man. You know, the guy who says I love you at the end of every video, which kind of creeps me out a little bit, but, you know, that's his thing. That's his shtick, you know. But I think it comes from his heart. I think it's real. And, you know, the dude is a brilliant storyteller, a brilliant filmmaker, and a giant heart. And I'm grateful that I found him on YouTube, and I will never forget this Thanksgiving. I spent it by myself. I didn't want to do anything today. I just wanted to chill. I've been so busy. I've been just like bombarded with a lot of stuff, trying to get my own stuff done. Like I said, I finally released my film, but I'm already working on another film, and, you know, I'm just doing a lot of stuff for a lot of other people. And this was the best possible thing that could have happened to me today. Honestly, I wept about 8 times in this movie. And I didn't want it to end. And I envy all of you. Anybody who hasn't seen the film, I envy you, because I know that I will never be able to see I Think I'm Sick again for the first time. So you're so lucky. So I'm going to put a link in my description. I'm telling you, go watch it. And by the way, I don't even know Danny Gevirtz. I got no connection to him at all. I'm not like pimping his stuff at all. You know, like I'm not promoting for any reason other than I think everybody should watch this movie. I think everybody should watch Cinema Paradiso. I think everybody should watch Wings of Desire. You know, so, but I Think I'm Sick. It's right up there with all those films. It's beautiful, you know. It doesn't really remind me of anything. And again, it's very stylized at the beginning. You got to get through that. But understand that it's really important. And then when you look back, you realize genius setup. He gave us all the rules. He gave us all the information we needed to be able to get on this journey and just, you know, sit down and enjoy and absorb all this love. Yeah. I was going to say information, but to absorb this love. So, watch it. I Think I'm Sick. Watch my movies too, please. And, yeah. So, And sorry, I didn't set up so beautifully today. I guess this is easy mode for me. And I actually tried to do this earlier, but it was too dark, and then it got darker and darker, and anyway, I recorded it again. So I probably have a little bit less energy right now than I had earlier, but I think you get the point. That's all I wanted to say today. I think I'm sick. I think I'm so filled with good nutrition right now because of I Think I'm Sick by Danny Gevirtz.